Hi guys, I'm Stephan Kesting from grapplers.com. It's my friend and a guy I've learned a ton from, Rob Bernacki, and he wanted to show some details that he's added to his cross choke recently that have given you a much higher percentage finishing rate.
Absolutely. This is one of those techniques that I think a lot of guys, even black belts, have struggled with the exception of Hodger Gracie, who has an excellent cross choke. And I've been watching him recently, and I've noticed a couple of things that I think I'm interpreting this correctly, but I'm going to give it to your viewers, and hopefully they agree.
Well, it's working for you, so
yeah.
N equals 1, and we can draw conclusions.
There you go. So, first thing, we'll just go over kind of everything that you need to do. Ideally, I want my feet tucked under the butt, and I want my hips off of my opponent. If I'm resting down every time he bridges, I'm going to be dealing with destabilization. So I want my knees pinched, I want my heels dug in, and I want my hips, relatively speaking, off of my opponent so that as he bridges, I'm less affected by it. Now we want to talk about how to get to the collar. So Stephan's going to be bringing his defense in, exactly. Depending on which side is on top or which hand I prefer, I'm going to grab one of the lapels, and just keep your elbows down for me, Stephan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to create a pathway for my arm. So if I just try to bring my hand in here and you're defending, I'm going to hit a wall. But by using your lapel to create a wedge against your forearm, I can slide my arm in, and I want to go as deep as I can to the floor, and I'm going to close my elbow, still keeping my feet tucked in. Now, here's where things get tricky. Because I've committed my weight, as soon as you go to bridge, I can potentially be rolled over. So, if I can't avoid that, I'm never going to cross choke anybody. As soon as I do this, I'm going to shift my weight to one side and keep my knee behind his armpit. At this point, I'm going to start to search for this arm. He's going to defend. I'm going to try to maybe slide underneath. I'm going to use this knee as much as I can to block his other arm. I can even cover it depending on how he's reacting. Once I've done that, I'm going to bring my elbow against his ear and shave his face to get the grip on the other side. Now this is where things get a little bit tricky, because conventionally what I was taught to do is pull my elbows in, and this works absolutely fine, is pull my elbows in and bring my head to my partner's head, and I'll still get the choke. What I've found recently has helped a lot though, is rather than rowing back and keeping my weight back here, is actually when I get the grip, is bringing my weight forward so my center of gravity shifts, allowing me to apply the choke without having to row so hard. You probably noticed it got progressively tighter and tighter as my body came forward.
I would have been unconscious another couple of seconds, for sure.
Yeah. So this detail, which again, I think I'm interpreting correctly what Hodger Gracie's doing, is rather than staying back here and trying to finish the choke like this, is leaning forward slightly to create a shift in center of gravity where all of my weight goes into your neck. So much less about using my arms and more using gravity. So another thing about this positioning is, normally when I'm close on my cross choke, if I get bridged, I'm going over. But with this additional movement, because I'm so far forward, if Stephan bridges right now, it doesn't affect me very much.
No, your weight's completely off of my hips. I can bridge all I want, and I'm not moving you at all.
That's the idea.
Okay, so you're on your head?
Yeah. I'm slightly off on this angle. I'm going way up here on my head. I'm relieving the pressure so you can keep talking. But you can feel the idea there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's also prying my chin up as you go forward.
Very much so. And anything that breaks someone's posture, and posture, people tend to think of posture, by the way, as just being upright and keeping your spine straight. But posture is actually any manipulation of the spine that disconnects the kinetic chain. So if you tilt someone's head back, you're breaking their posture. If you manage to twist their hips to one side while their shoulders are going that side, you're breaking their posture. So anything that breaks your posture leaves you more vulnerable.
Well, thank you very much.
No worries, my pleasure.